My name is Jennifer Thompson, and I live with my 3-year-old son Lucas in a small one-bedroom apartment in Seattle, Washington. I work as a cashier at a local supermarket, my paycheck barely covering rent and daycare for Lucas. My mother, Margaret, lives in a nearby retirement home and has been my rock ever since Lucas's father abandoned us. She adores Lucas, often babysitting him when I work late shifts. One rainy afternoon in early March 2025, I was folding laundry when my phone rang. It was the retirement home. My heart pounded as the nurse explained that my mother had collapsed during lunch and was rushed to the hospital. Tests revealed a severe heart condition requiring immediate surgery, costing $10,000, a sum I couldn't possibly afford. I sat at my kitchen table, gripping the medical bill, my hand shaking while Lucas played with his toy truck on the floor, humming innocently, oblivious to my panic. I had no savings. My credit cards were maxed out, and the thought of losing my mother, the woman who raised me, who supported me through everything, felt unbearable. I thought of my brother, Mark, and his wife, Amanda, who lived in a wealthy neighborhood in Bellevue. Mark is a software engineer, and Amanda owns a boutique clothing store. They have no kids, but live comfortably. Mark loves our mother deeply, often visiting her with small gifts, though he's grown distant from me since marrying Amanda due to our different lifestyles. Still, I had no other options. I called Mark, my voice trembling as I explained our mother's condition and the $10,000 we needed. Mark sounded worried. "That's awful, Jen. I want to help Mom, but we're tight on money right now because of a loan for Amanda's store expansion. I'll talk to her. We'll lend you the $10,000. I felt a wave of relief, tears spilling over as I thanked him, though the word lend made me uneasy. Mark added, "I'll come by tomorrow to discuss details." I hung up, clinging to a sliver of hope for the first time since my mother's diagnosis. The next day, Mark and Amanda arrived at my apartment. Mark looked uneasy, his brow furrowed with guilt, while Amanda took charge, handing me a $10,000 check along with a contract. I asked, confused, what the contract was for. Amanda replied coldly, "We're lending you this money, but we need security. Our finances are stretched with the store loan. We can't afford to lose $10,000. If you can't repay in 6 months, you'll let us adopt Lucas." I felt the air leave my lungs, stammering, "Adopt Lucas? What are you saying?" Mark avoided my gaze, muttering, "Jen, I don't like this, but Amanda insisted on the contract. I just want Mom to get the surgery." Amanda continued, "We've always wanted a child, and this ensures you'll pay us back. It's just a precaution." I glanced at Lucas playing in the corner, my stomach churning. I turned to Mark, pleading, "Mark, she's your mother too. How can you let Amanda do this?" Mark sighed. "I wish I could pay for Mom outright, but we're in debt. Amanda's right, we need a guarantee." I felt betrayed, realizing Amanda had used their financial strain to push her own agenda, while Mark's guilt couldn't outweigh his loyalty to her. The days that followed were a nightmare. I couldn't eat or sleep, my mind trapped between losing my mother or my son. Imagining Lucas calling Amanda Mom broke my heart, but the thought of my mother dying without surgery was just as unbearable. I called Mark again, begging, "Please, talk to Amanda. I can't lose Lucas. Mom wouldn't want this." Mark's voice was heavy with regret. "I tried, Jen, but Amanda won't budge. She says it's the only way to protect our finances. I feel terrible, but I don't know what else to do." I was furious and heartbroken. Mark loved our mother, I knew that, but he was caught between financial strain and Amanda's control. I sat on the floor, surrounded by Lucas's toys, sobbing uncontrollably. Lucas hugged my leg, asking softly, "Mommy sad?" I held him tight, tears streaming down my face, my heart shattered by the impossible choice. I tried every alternative I could think of, applying for loans, asking coworkers for help, but my credit was too poor, and no one could lend such a large sum. I called Mark one last time, hoping he'd find a way to help without Amanda's condition, but he said weakly, "I'm sorry, Jen. I can't go against Amanda. I'd pay for Mom myself if we weren't in debt. Just try to pay it back." The hospital called, warning that my mother's condition was worsening and I couldn't delay the surgery much longer. I sat at my kitchen table late at night, staring at the contract, tears dripping onto the paper. I felt trapped between two unbearable losses with no way out. Finally, I decided I couldn't risk losing Lucas, even to save my mother. I tore up the contract and turned to my community for help. My co-workers at the supermarket organized a fundraiser, bake sales, car washes, and a crowdfunding campaign. The Seattle community responded generously, raising $12,000 in 3 weeks. My mother had her surgery and began recovering. I cut off contact with Amanda, unable to forgive her manipulation, and kept only minimal contact with Mark, feeling he'd failed our family by not standing up to Amanda, even if his financial situation had constrained him. One sunny afternoon, I sat in the park watching Lucas play, my mother beside me, smiling weakly. I knew I'd made the right choice. My family might be small, but it was built on love, not manipulation. I learned that family should prioritize love and empathy over personal gain, not exploit desperation like Amanda did with her cruel condition, while Mark's inability to stand up showed how financial pressure constrained familial bonds, and I realized the immense power of community support, which helped me save my mother without losing my son, teaching me to hold firm to my values and protect what's most sacred, like my bond with Lucas, no matter the cost.